Any questions? Questions? Okay. Oisches. Mamshech b'maimer, the Yud Kislev, and he continues in the Maimer of Yud Kislev. Like we said, the Yud Kislev Maimer of the Frierdiker Rebbe is a continuation of the Maimer of Teskis. The fact that Yidden are called those that sanctify your name, it's also connected with the literal idea that it's called in Lashon Kodesh, a person that gives up his life for Hashem is called being Moiser Nefesh al Kiddush Hashem, for the sanctification of Hashem's name. Interestingly enough, this Maimer was said in Tafshin Beis at the end of 1941, where Nebuch, many Yidden were killed al Kiddush Hashem. So too, it's also the Maimer of the Mittler Rebbe. The idea of they sanctified your name, who Mesiras Nefesh al Kiddush Hashem, top of page Tesvav, that's sacrificing oneself, literally giving up one's life for the sanctification of Hashem's name. So the Rebbe is going to connect the Chassidus types of Yakdish Shemecha, that they're bringing more holiness from Hashem's etzem down into the name to make name to be in a way of Oyer and Gilui, with the more basic explanation that's talking about literally sacrificing one's life, giving up one's life for Hashem. The connection between the two explanations in sanctifying your name, Mesiras Nefesh al Kiddush Hashem, and the drawing down of you are holy and your name is holy, to be able to reach and to draw down from the level that you are holy. It's beyond any category of concealment or revelation, like we mentioned before. To be able to join two opposites, you have to go from a level that's higher than them. So to be an ultimate state of bit. And self-sacrifice is the total state of bit. So therefore, this is an embodiment or an expression of that bittul that's necessary to be able to tap into that level that's totally higher, to be able to bring the two opposites of Gilui and Helm together. We could say, this is also the reason for the fact is also, in general, why do we find that in the expression of Chazal and so on, we call giving up one's life for Hashem, we call it Kiddush Hashem, sanctifying Hashem's name. We know there's a concept of Chilul Hashem, which is making Hashem's name unholy and profaning Hashem's name. And then there's something when we demonstrate what a Yid stands for, what Torah Mitzvah is about, we call it Kiddush Hashem. Through self-sacrifice, we draw down in the name from the holiness of Hashem's essence. Therefore, it has both things together. Hold on one second. Okay. So, last part of the Maimer, line 11 on page Tesvav. So, we're about according to what's known Shabbat Vodah Sa'ad, and the service of a Yid, that through that service becomes the Hamshacha, has to be similar to it. So if we have to draw down a certain type of thing, we have to do something like it. The Rebbe a lot of times speaks about the times of Mashiach, that whatever type of revelation is going to be in the times of Mashiach, we have to do things in our avodah that is similar to that type of revelation. So the same thing over here, Yeshua could say, the two aspects that has to come down of making sanctified your name, drawing down from you are holy. In your name is holy. Through this also the name that becomes the idea of revelation. There is also similar to that in the avodah of self-sacrifice. The idea habitul the Mesiras Nefesh canal, drawing down Hashem's essence is through the bittul of self-sacrifice. It's the fact that we have in the name, in the Helam, we have the idea of revelation, so that in the Mesiras Nefesh has to come down the Yechida that's higher from Gilui into revelation. So we have to have in our Avodah also the coalescing of both, the highest into the revelation. According to what's explained in time, Tanya explains that fulfilling Torah mitzvahs has to be inspired by the fact that we're always ready to sacrifice our lives for Hashem. And since he realized that every mitzvah is something that affects his connection with Hashem, so if he knows that he's ready to sacrifice himself for Hashem, so that will also help him be willing and ready to sacrifice himself in any mitzvah. Which means, in other words, the revelation of the Yechida of the person, he's taking the Yechida and he's bringing it down to the specific levels of the person. You have that joining again. You have the highest level, the love of Mesiras Nefesh, but that causes an increase in the fulfillment of Torah mitzvahs. By days of Gama Gili, Shanasa Bashem, through that, the revelation that occurs in the level of name is not just a revelation in general. Elegam Bedargis Aproti is also in the individual levels. Maskel Arba Dargis should be filled Ata Echad, Kimavur Barucha, Maimer Nal the Bala Lula. In the Maimer, the Mittler Rebbe, he brings down 4 levels, that's different levels in a person's in the person that there is, that's enumerated in Ata Echad. And those 4 levels have to be impacted by this essential level. Till the revelation will be down here below also by Mazagashmi in this physical world. Every made thing will know that you made it. In this world itself, in the most lowest part. And all flesh will see together that the mouth of Hashem spoke. Also the flesh, and not just the eyes of flesh, but also the flesh itself, like the Rebbe many times emphasizes. It doesn't say that all eyes will see, but all flesh, but the very flesh itself. Yira will see. Its entire being is the word of Eibishter, that brings into being every moment from nothing to something. So too it's concerning the Yid, not just the world, but similar to that in the Yid. That through the Yid becomes this revelation. Also in the individual levels of the person to Shama. His intellect, his emotions, his thoughts, speech, and deed. Will come down the revelation of the essence of the soul. Until the revelation of the essence of the soul, the way it's rooted in Hashem's essence, Yidden and the king are all alone. It's only Hashem and the Yidden all alone, like we spoke about in the earlier in the Maimer. Any questions?